Every year, millions of people flock to the majestic national parks of the United States. They come for the breathtaking views, the towering pine trees, and the peaceful silence of nature. But beneath that breathtaking beauty lies a dark, terrifying secret that the authorities refuse to talk about. People are vanishing, not just getting lost, but evaporating into thin air, leaving no trace behind. Welcome to the terrifying reality of the missing 411. If you think you are safe in the woods, by the end of this video, you will never look at a forest the same way again. Former police detective David Paulides spent years investigating these disappearances. What he uncovered wasn't just a list of missing persons. It was a deeply disturbing pattern, a pattern that defies logic, physics, and human understanding. The National Park Service keeps meticulous records of stolen property, bear attacks, and even fallen trees. Yet, when asked exactly how many people have disappeared on their land, they claim they don't have a list. They don't know, or rather, they won't say. When you dive into the missing 411 cases, the similarities are enough to make your blood run cold. These aren't normal accidents. First, the disappearances almost always happen near granite boulder fields or bodies of water. Second, the weather suddenly and violently changes right after the person goes missing. A clear summer day will instantly turn into a blinding blizzard or torrential downpour, washing away any possible footprints or scent trails. Search and rescue dogs, the best in the world, will be brought in only to sit down confused, refusing to track. It is as if the person was simply plucked from the earth. And perhaps the most bizarre detail of all, a massive percentage of these victims vanish while picking berries. Let me take you back to October 1999. A 3-year-old boy named Jared Atadero was on a hiking trip with a Christian singles group in the Arapahoe National Forest, Colorado. Jared was energetic, running slightly ahead of the group, talking to the fishermen they passed along the trail. He was never out of earshot, but in a window of just a few seconds, Jared vanished. He didn't scream. He didn't fall. He was just gone. Massive search parties combed the area. Helicopters scanned the dense canopy. Dogs scoured the trail. Nothing. For years later, 2 hikers found Jared's clothes, but the location made absolutely no sense. His fleece pullover and pants were found nearly 550 feet above the trail, on top of a steep, treacherous cliff face. It was a climb that would be difficult for a professional mountaineer, let alone a 3-year-old boy. Even more chilling, the clothes were perfectly intact. They weren't shredded by animals. They were simply turned inside out, as if they had been carefully removed and placed on the mountain. How does a toddler scale a sheer cliff in a matter of seconds without making a single sound? The authorities ruled it a mountain lion attack, but experts completely disagreed. Mountain lions don't undress their prey. You might be thinking, Jared was just a child. What about experienced outdoorsmen? That brings us to the hunters. If anyone knows how to survive the wilderness, it is heavily armed, highly trained hunters. Yet, they make up a massive portion of the missing 411 cases. Take the case of Tom Messick in 2015. Tom was an 82-year-old former paratrooper, an expert woodsman hunting with his friends near Lake George, New York. Tom wasn't walking around. He was sitting perfectly still on a stump, waiting for deer, clutching his rifle. His friends were stationed just a few hundred yards away, forming a perimeter. Suddenly, a strange metallic sound echoed through the woods, like the snapping of a massive steel trap. When his friends went to check on Tom, he was gone. His rifle was gone. There were no footprints in the mud around his stump, no signs of a struggle. The FBI was called in alongside hundreds of volunteers. They searched for weeks. Tom Messick was never seen again. How does an armed paratrooper vanish from a stationary position without leaving a single footprint? As these cases pile up by the thousands, the theories become more terrifying. What is taking these people? Some believe there are feral, uncontacted humans living deep in the cave systems of North America, hunting hikers for sport. Others point to the strange, localized magnetic anomalies found in these exact areas, suggesting portals or tears in the fabric of space and time. And then, there is the most sinister theory of all, that the government knows exactly what is in those woods. that the national parks weren't created to protect nature from us, but to protect us from whatever lives in the deep woods. And the people who vanish are simply the toll we pay to keep those boundaries intact. The next time you decide to take a hike and you stray just a few feet off the designated trail, pay attention to the forest. If the birds suddenly stop singing, if the wind dies down and a heavy, dead silence falls over the trees, do not keep walking. Turn around, because in that silence, you are no longer a hiker. You're being hunted, and you might just become the next missing 411. If you made it this far, make sure to subscribe to Endless Edge. We explore the darkest corners of the world every single week. Tell me in the comments, what is the strangest thing you have ever experienced in the woods? Stay safe and never hike alone.